until all of this unraveled, I didn't know he was stealing the money at all.
Wow.
And truth be told, I still don't even know if that's really exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I believe still to this day that Shohei Ohtani was not gambling. I just question a little bit whether he helped his friend out maybe with a wire or two, but either way, that's not a crime. He did nothing wrong. He should continue to be the amazing player he is, and I idol him very much and think he's the best player I've ever seen in my life.
He's a worldwide phenom.
By far.
I'm thinking, his endorsements has got to be way more than the salary deal he got with the Dodgers.
Easily. He's a billionaire. No question.
Just whatever, he has. I mean, he's just, he walked in anything. He's the guy.
Yep.
He's royalty.
More than any other athlete on the earth right now.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's global.
Right.
And he's performing again and again and again. I mean, he had a down year this year. He only hit 54 home runs.
Ooh.
Yeah. He only had 102 RBIs. It's incredible. Like, I mean, you're never going to see. I don't think we'll ever see anything like it.
Yeah.
I hope we do. I would love to see another athlete do something like this, but I doubt it.
You talked about the feds coming and raiding you. And you said you're putting your son in. They put up the ARs on you, and your wife's in cuffs. And I know at that point the mindset is like, oh God, like this is just devastating, right? What they took from you, at this point, what have you gotten back?
I got back actually all my jewelry and handbags for my wife. She had about maybe 30 very expensive handbags.
Yeah.
Hermes and Chanel's and
yeah.
Not that we cared about that, but we did, because to be honest with you, these are all moments and memories that we purchased these things or got from casinos that are entitled to a moment in a memory. That sounds materialistic, maybe it is, but the reality is like I went to Monte Carlo with her and we gambled, and I was gambling with oligarchs and sheiks and betting more than them, even though they had $8 zillion more than me, but yeah. I didn't care. And these moments were euphoric for us, where I won 1.4 million in Monte Carlo, and
let's go shopping.
That's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
And so we went and bought some Breitlinks that we love, because we like Breitlinks over Rolexes because they're bigger watches. And then we went and bought a Chanel or Hermes, and great, beautiful stuff. That stuff gets ripped from you, even though it's a valuable item, because people focus too much on that.
Right.
It's like a picture. A picture gets taken from you from when you were young, in your case, a young boy with your dad. That picture is worth zillions of dollars. There's no value to that picture.
Sentimental.
Yes, and it's gone. And just because this purse is worth 30 grand doesn't mean that's the value that we care about it, of course. Now, it's nice that it's worth that, but the reality is it's where we purchase it in the moments. And so to get those things back was great, actually. The money's gone, the chips, the casino chips are all gone. Gold bars are gone, but whatever, I'll go make that again. So I'm actually happier that we got the personal items back.
If you mind sharing, how much cash did he?
I only had 270. Yeah, because they got me on a Thursday, and if they got me on Monday, I had about 1.5 million, because I just got home from Vegas. I just won, actually, finally at Resorts World, and I never won there. And I had money because I just paid out all my customers. When I landed, I handed out to my runners, and they went on their way and paid everybody, because I pay on Mondays.
That was your payday for them.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you hit me on a Monday when I was a bookmaker, that's when I had all my money, in my property, because clearly I don't keep money in my house, and I had it scattered. But I just landed in Las Vegas, and I had literally $1.5 million because I just won. I bet $800,000 in the Cowboys. They beat the Raiders, and I won at the casino too. So I flew home. I had 1.5 in cash, and so I paid out almost all of it except for 270. So that's why I only had that amount in my house, which I wouldn't keep there anyway. Even if I only had the $1.5 million there because I just got off a plane and I was dispersing it. Because as a bookmaker, you don't keep that kind of money in your house anyway.
Yeah.
But so that's what they got.
And no negotiations of anything. Even you say, like, hey man, I earned that 10 years ago or whatever. Like they don't even want to deal with you on that.
There was no talking at all, because I obviously said I'm not speaking to you. You can talk to my attorney.
Yeah.
But there's definitely I think you see my personality. After about an hour, I was kind of cracking jokes, because there's not much you could do, man. They're doing their job.
True.
Their job is to come in and do what they got to do. Frankly, they don't want to be my friend.
Neither will they ever.
No, and I understand that. But they were kind to a degree, right? They were just doing their job. But I would joke as they piled the money on my dining table, because I had one guy at a hub, and they go throughout the house and they just grab everything and stack it on the table.
To do inventory kind of thing.
And I was like, "Do you guys?" I went to get something to eat, and they walked me through my own house because I'm not allowed to go anywhere.
Right.
I said, as I walked by the dining table, I made a joke. I said, "Do you guys mind if I grab a few bucks out of it to get something to eat?" And I'm joking, obviously, and they're like, "No, can't do that." Okay. Yeah, you could tell they want to laugh, but
Yeah.
because they probably don't see that very often. Most people are like in that position are not cracking jokes.
Oh yeah.
And it's not a funny moment for me, but life's too short, man. What am I going to do? It's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm just trying to make every situation as positive as possible.
How often do you go to Vegas at that time?
Every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And at that point, now that you don't go anymore,
Right.
What has that impacted for you and them? Obviously, on your end, we already know that part, but I'm just saying, like, what has that impacted for you not going to Vegas?
To actually Las Vegas? Well, I it's funny. One of my Instagrams went viral the other day because the comment they clipped was, I sound very arrogant, which I am anyway. It says,
All good.
because of me. That's exactly what I said. Because of me, Las Vegas casinos are struggling dramatically. And of course they clip that, so it sounds like I'm just like, I'm the guy, which I think I am anyway, so let's be real. But I'm just being sarcastic. So I say, they don't finish the clip, and what I'm saying is, because of my case and what happened to me, Las Vegas now has changed all of their laws, or let me restructure that, has been forced to enforce all of their laws, which they weren't before. And in particular, Resorts World. So now that they are forced to push that KYC rule, which is know your customer, they can't allow people of my caliber, meaning illegal bookmakers, weed, drugs, cartel, whatever, come into that casino and gamble, or any casino for that matter, without knowing their customer. And if you can't prove your income and you have legitimate funds and a business and et cetera, they have to decline you now.
So, I mean, are they going to be as stringent as, like, when you go get a home loan? Like, hey, where'd you get that $10,000 deposit from? Where'd you get this from? Like, are they getting?
Are you saying they being
casinos?
Vegas? Well, no, because if you're in question, they're going to make you, which they did to me, by the way. I had to show my tax returns. They're definitely going to do more of a financial colonoscopy of you, but now it's going to be very tight, like to the point where if you're even close to the gray area in their mind, they're going to pass, because compliance doesn't want this exposure and to go through what is happening now,
Right.
which is why my case is still ongoing. I have advanced my sentencing, and everyone thinks I'm absolutely bananas for doing that because I'm going to prison, whereas I probably wouldn't if I would have prolonged this more.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the government is having issues with the casino. That's where this case started, and they're still having their, I'm going to call it, argument. It's still ongoing. I'm out of it now. I'm done. I go to prison in 7 days, and it has nothing to do with me anymore. But because of that, and because of this case, if you walked in, you being Wilson, and you were selling cocaine as opposed to owning a construction business, you're not going to gamble. Whereas maybe 2 years ago, you could have went into Resorts World with $500,000 and gambled. And
Wouldn't blink an eye.
yeah, I mean, they may ask you a few questions, but as long as you have some sort of answers, I think they're going to look the other way.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is what they were doing. I mean, I clearly had a business, and my business was illegal, but I filed as a professional gambler on my tax return.
Like any poker player, like, was it World Poker Tour?
That's correct.
Those guys,
Right.
What's the difference?
Correct. But I didn't make $13 million, which actually that's what I lost there. So you'd have to make 20 million to make 13, right? Taxes. So it's not like my return was showing I made $20 million. So knowing your customer, they'd have to say, where in the hell is this coming from?
Right.
So that's the problem. And the government wants to control everything, as you know. So
Of course.
The way to control it is to control the banks and casinos, which is why it's gotten so tight. You can't walk into B of A, we just discussed this earlier, and say, give me $100,000 right now.
Right.
You can get it, but you have to order it. You got to explain it. And before, 2 years ago, no, more, 6, 7 years ago, you could walk into B of A and say, give me 100 grand. And if it's reasonable and they have enough cash on hand, they'll give it to you. But it's really gotten tight in the last 7 years.
With Vegas, just, like you said, they're being watched, right? And by having them being under the watch, everything's changing.
Right.
The other, let's call it bookmakers that haven't been caught, let's call it, they're probably in hiding right now.
For sure.
They're not, they're not making that commitment going, I'm not walking in there because I don't want to be the next guy.
Correct. No doubt.
What point on your end of it that you said, man, if you're going to grill me like this, I'm going to go somewhere else? Like, that you felt like I'm not saying you're being violated, but it's just to a point where you're kind of like, why should I have to answer to you? Like you said, like we talked about earlier, when we're looking at my cars in the back, you're like, hey man, this is your passion. This is what you want to do. Is that what you want? You want to go buy this? Go for it. If you want to go gamble, go gamble.
Right.
If you have the ability to go do it, do it. Why, at that point, do you look at that as like, okay, you're kind of getting in my business, getting a little sketch. I'm going to go somewhere else.
You can't though, because there were casinos that weren't allowing me to come play. The KYC rule was being enforced.
Then they start talking and networking, you think?
I mean, yes, but some of them are going to do this. I don't know. I don't see it. And then some of them are going to say, hey man, our compliance is not allowing that. And that's why I got barred at Wynn. I mean, they're tighter. They just had a $130 million fine, the biggest in the history, about a year ago.
Oh, they got hit.
Yeah, biggest ever. It was a 10-year case, $130 million. Damn. Yeah. So the government is definitely cracking down on all of this. And for that reason, now every casino is going to abide by the KYC rule.
Yeah.
There's no question. I mean, if I were gambling today, and I never got caught, and this happened with somebody else, and I went to Las Vegas, I would have zero chance of playing like I used to. In fact, I don't think I'd be welcome at almost any casino.
Because they already know.
Yes, and after my case, or during my case, I heard that there's an article that was written, I read it, that over 300 bookmakers got kicked out, I'm going to call it, told they can't come here until they prove their KYC out of MGM Grand Properties, resorts.
300 bookmakers.
300. There's probably another 5,000 that will.
Yeah.
300 immediately, because that means they look to their stuff and they're like, these 300.
They don't add up.
They know they're bookies, and they just got rid of them to avoid more fines.
You always hear about right now, hey, Vegas, the tourism is down, but the people are there. They still have the conventions. They still have all these things going on. Obviously, Raiders games and
Right.
And all this other stuff. UFC,
Golden
obviously,
Knights.
exactly the Knights and all that. So it's funny. They always say they try to spin it and say, well, I don't want to get in a political part. They're like, well, it's Trump, and
Right.
and the Canadians aren't coming here. They're
I
making the effort, like saying, because the Canadians, we're not making any money. We're not getting the business like we used to. Like they were the fueling source of the success of Vegas, right? To where I'm looking at this, I'm going like, what you're describing is like, there's a factor involved.
Yeah. It's really funny you're saying this, because if you get time later today, go on my Instagram. There's a specific video of what I just told you.
Okay.
And it's going viral for this reason. And if you look at the comments, if you're bored, you're going to say that everything you're saying is what these people say in the comments, like in general. Oh, it's a Canadian thing. It's Donald Trump. Oh, it's the prices are inflated. Oh, it's this. It's not what this guy's saying. And I agree with some of it. It's a combination of all of these things. Let's be real.
Right.
But the main reason that the gaming revenue is down is because of high rollers and whales are not allowed to play at the caliber they used to or at all.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Yeah, Vegas is crowded because you have people that fly over there with $400 in their pocket.
100%,
They put $100 in a slot machine the whole time. That's it. And they'll go eat at a nice restaurant and they'll enjoy themselves and they'll get a room that's at Excalibur for cheap and they walk around and they say it's beautiful, which it is. Nothing wrong with that. Vegas has plenty of that. But the gaming revenue is down drastically, and that's why they're all struggling. Look at Caesar's stock. They're underwater. They're losing millions and millions of dollars every day.
Yeah, like their interest, what they're paying of what they owe to what they're bringing in is totally upside down.
Yeah, but if they go into bankruptcy or some sort of issue, they get bailed out by the government. Mm-hmm. But yet you and I, we get foreclosed on.
Easy.
And we lose everything.
Yeah.
Or I commit a crime by money laundering and gambling, illegal gambling, and I'm going to prison, father of 5. But the casino gets fined 10.5 million, and me and another bookmaker lost $25 million there. So they netted 14.5 million. No one's going to jail, and they're still operating, and you only made 14.5 million, guys. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, right.
But I'm going to go sit in a federal prison, and I have 5 kids. I have a 4-year-old son who's going to be without his father for a year. A 14-year-old daughter is going to go to high school. I can't go to her volleyball game. Can't be there as her father. My wife, my other 3 daughters. So how is that helping society?
Right.
I'm not trying to say that I shouldn't be punished for committing an illegal crime. Absolutely. I paid 1.7 in restitution. I'm helping the community. I spoke at USC, Marshall School of Business, helped educate these young kids about gambling and addiction. Go look at my letters I provided to the judge. This is why he gave me a very light sentence. Year and a day. I could have got 3 to 5 years for my federal crime based on the guidelines. I got a year. Why did he give me a year? He said to me, I'm really proud of you. I mean, maybe not proud of you. He said, I'm impressed with what you've done in the last 2 years because I do help people with addiction. Gambling is great. There's nothing wrong with gambling. If
Right.
you can do it in entertainment format, lose money you can afford and enjoy it, brings people together, party, have fun, that's what it's for.
Right.
But if it gets out of control and you have a problem, then people need help, and it's becoming a problem in the world, big time, right? Especially now it's legal, all these young kids are just, that's a whole nother conversation. But my point is, putting me in prison does not help anyone. And in fact, it's costing you money. It's $50,000 to have a guy in a federal prison. So now you're paying to have me in prison. So it costs you money, and I'm being reformed. I don't see the value in that. I'm not making excuses. I'm, again, never playing victim. I always say that because I'm accountable for my actions. But
Yeah.
put me, how about this? How about I spend 10 hours a day going to colleges, young athletes. Don't pay me $1 for it. Force me to do this as opposed to prison. Let me talk to young people. Let me help them with addiction. Send me to rehabs. Let me help fucking people with addiction there.
Right.
Make me go pick up trash on the side of the freeway. Fine. At least that way I can go home to my kids and they can still have their dad, and it doesn't cost taxpayers money. That's all I'm saying. I think it's really ridiculous. Now, did I rape someone? Did I murder? Did I hit an old lady over the head with a baseball bat and take her purse? That's what prison's for.
100%,
Gangbanger
yeah.
going around stabbing someone, hurting people, they should be in prison.
Yeah.
But that's my philosophy. I just like to say it because that's what I would do, even if it wasn't me. I'm not just saying that so I can say poor me. It's not about that.
No, but you have a good point. I mean, you bring value, right? In that sense of not saying, hey, you owe me $25,000 to, do this for you for these, bad gamblers and they're going through therapy and all this other stuff. It's more of like the value of you say, hey, I'm telling my story.
Right.
Yes, it may be a grander scheme of things, but don't get there.
Yeah, here's a lesson.
Yeah. I'm learning it the hard way. Don't get into this.
Right.
Like, please, don't try to, leverage your home or put your car title on the line or whatever it may be.
Right.
It's like, hey, just let's really think about this.
Well, let me give you an even deeper example. I have a kid, I'm not going to say his name. I opened my Instagram a year ago. I told you that. Mm-hmm. He reached out to me 3 weeks after I opened my Instagram. My videos started getting a little attention. My story's pretty wild. And he says to me, hey man, I just lost $300 and something thousand at Cosmo. And I forget how old he was. I think he's like 22, 23-year-old kid. He goes, I think I want to kill myself.
Oh no.
Okay, this is a DM from some random person I don't know. I look at my wife and I'm like, wow man, this is wild. It was like 10 at night. She's like, let's just go to bed. You're tired. I'm like, no, I got to answer this. Like, this could be serious. I don't know if he's full of shit or not. So I start like DMing this kid, back and forth. It goes on for like, I'm gonna say maybe 2 months, okay, but not every day, off and on. And I just told him, look, man, there's no amount of money that's worth your life. Number one. Number two, you're young, and you can always recover. And 300,000 means a lot to you now, but it really means nothing in the grand scheme of things. And you're going through. It's all in your head. So I'm building him back up. He keeps hitting me up. Oh, I lost 50,000 on some parlays and DraftKings. So after about 2 months of this, I finally said to him, I said, I'm done with you, man. I give you advice, I help you, you don't listen. You just keep giving me all your negative crap. I'm sure I don't hear from you when you win, because it seems to be always when you're losing.
Right.
But never mind that. You continue to just go down this path. So I'm going to give you some tough love, man. I'm done. Don't bother anymore. If you want to come at me and say you're going to get help and go to Gamblers Anonymous or therapy, I'm here for you.
Yeah. I'll give you some guidance.
All day long.
Yeah.
But this is you're going nowhere, and I'm not going to. Tough love. Here we go. So he goes dark. I'll say his name. His name is Harrison. Okay. Well, actually, I just gave it away because when I tell the rest of the story, whatever. Hopefully, he doesn't care. Long story short, fast forward about 2 months ago, literally 2 months ago, I get this DM from this kid, and it's a picture of him playing tennis. I'm like, I open it, and then he follows me with another picture of like when he was fat and when he was skinny, and he says, "Man, you've changed my life. I lost 80 pounds. I'm back on the tennis courts. I'm playing in an ATP tour. I get goosebumps talking about ATP tour tournament in, I think it was Turkey actually, or Istanbul or something. I'm a professional tennis player. I'm grinding. I'm a low-level tennis player, and I'm going to be playing in this event. I just advanced to the Masters. I don't understand tennis that well, but some Masters this. So now he can make decent amount of money. And he's like, dude, I'm the strongest I've ever been. I haven't gambled in 6 months. I'm healthiest I've ever been. Like, so confident. I was like, wow, that's awesome, man. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
So we DM now. And I'll show it to you. It's in my phone.
That's so awesome.
And just to prove it, so anyone watching this and think I'm making this shit up, I'll show you my phone. You'll see it for yourself. And you'll get goosebumps. It's crazy. He sends the pictures and everything. And I'm just like, that's something that I could do to help people, right? And I did this for free. I did this for, it's not about money. It's not about, I didn't even show this to the judge or anyone for that matter, actually. But why not let me use these abilities to give back? So that's why I say that. Maybe people viewing this will be like, well, you got away with this. You live this crazy lifestyle. And, I get all that. I mean, they're envious of that. But I took a lot of risk in that. I put myself out there. I had a gun pointed at me. I've had multiple settings where I've been in danger. So it wasn't all like just gumdrops and lollipops. Yeah. I've had dark moments where I've lost money, where I can't pay people and I have to go borrow, and look like a complete tool bag. Sitting there saying, "Hey, Wilson, man, can you help me out, man? I'm jammed up here. I need to borrow $500,000." Right. To friends of mine that know that I'm capable of paying them, but still putting their neck on the line.
Right.
But I'll be like, I'll give you $600,000. Give me 6 weeks, and it's uncomfortable conversations.
They are
that I put myself in.
Right.
But my point is, it's not all private jets and caviar. There's just like you building this business. You have a lot of moments where it all falls on you. All these employees, if you go out of business, they all lose their job.
Oh yeah, it weighs a lot on my shoulder. 'Cause every day I think about this. Like, I'm walking through the office, I'm going. There are times I'm going, oh my God, I can't believe I see all these people. They walk around the office, they're doing this, doing that, and I'm so proud of them, because what this company has evolved to, right? And to me, to sit here and go, exactly what you're saying. If I say, yeah, I don't give a shit, let's go to Vegas, I'll go bet $1 million on, whatever,
right.
And come back, it's like, sorry guys, no paychecks, for the next 3 weeks or whatever, right? And to me, it's like I can't do that.
Right.
I have my own sense of accountability and morals that I have to make sure that every week, come Thursday at midnight, that they get hit with direct deposit, they get their paycheck, they can support their family,
of course, man.
do the things
They're
that
all
you do,
relying on you.
And it's like, it's one of those things, like I always watch what I'm doing, and I can appreciate what you're trying to do too, because you want to educate those. What's funny is sometimes people don't understand the true value or the meaning of the dollar.
Sure.
Right? It's there, like exactly what you're saying. Fuck it. Let's go to Vegas. We'll go gamble $300,000, right? But to some at that level, or even 30,000, it's like, it's a lot for them, right. And they have to understand what that value, could be, and there, I have some former employees that it's like they get paid. They're literally, going out to like chicken fights, whatever it may be. They're trying to get gambling. That edge, like you're saying, just, hey, I want $20 on this or whatever it is,
right.
And it gets to a point where, they even come and ask me, they're like, hey boss, like, can I get an advancement on my paycheck? And I'm like, well, payday's like not until like 3 days. Like, yeah, but just take it out of my check. I'm like, but then you're gonna get less money, and how are you gonna survive the following week? And then it becomes a pattern.
Right.
You
Just
know,
digging a hole deeper and deeper. Yeah.
yeah, and I kind of look at that. And this one guy, I mean, he had a family of 3 or 4. I can't remember. It's been so long. And I told him, I said, hey, man, I told him, I said, hey, I want you to make sure that you control the money. Don't let the money control you.
Right.
Because gambling is great. Like you said, it's entertainment, right? But at some point, you have to understand that I got to put bread on the table. I got to be able to put whatever it is on the table, pay for whatever utility, and survive.
Sure.
And to lose those kind of things, it's saddening at times. You look at that, and I can appreciate what you're trying to do, because you don't want that next guy to
be in that position, of
course. Of whatever it may be.
Well, for me, I have a reason that I was able to not be in that position.
Right.
It's because I had a business that was so profitable and ran so well that I knew I had something to fall back on.
Right.
But an employee at, let's call it, Chick-fil-A or an employee, works at a CPA firm that makes a slotted amount, they don't have that opportunity. So if they go below all their money and more,
it's done.
It's over, and especially if savings is gone and they have nowhere to go. So that's what's happening in the world. My example is really terrible because I had the money, I could always find it. That's not normal. And that's why I want people to understand you have to address this early before it becomes too late, and then you lose everything. You lose a marriage. You have these kids that are 22, 23, they're going to college, and they're on DraftKings, and they're on FanDuel, and they're gambling, and it's fun, of course. It's a blast. They're betting $50, $100, but their parents only allot them so much money for college, and then they start using it for the wrong things.
Right.
And they create these really bad habits that aren't monumental, financially at that time, but the habit that they're developing until when they're 30 and 35, when they have a baby and buy a house and have a real job, is a problem, because now they're going to lose everything. They're going to lose their wife, their house, their marriage, their kids,
right.
And that's the problem.
It's almost like that they're planting that seed.
Yes.
Without knowing.
Correct.
They're looking at the current state. Great, we're going to rake in X amount of dollars from these guys. That's perfect. But you fast forward that 30 years from now, exactly what you're saying. It's like, yeah, you're going to have a better job. You're going to get paid better. You're going to have better resources, whatever it may be, to have some sort of value that they're going to take that for granted and say, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Absolutely, that's going to be a big problem. You watch the epidemic we're going to have in 3 to 5 years. Yeah. It's going to be that fast. It's going to be. You just watch. It's sad. I hate to say that, but it's reality.
Someone has to let everyone know, and I'm glad you're sitting here being able to do that, because
my message is to both parties, like people who have gambling addiction or any addiction, get help, obviously, and address your issues and be accountable, look in the mirror, and to the parties who are gambling and enjoying it, keep doing it. Enjoy your life. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you can control it and you can spend, your excess money and it doesn't affect your life and you don't have a gambling problem, then you should gamble. It's fun.
Right.
I have nothing against gambling. I did it my whole life. I may do it again. I'm not allowed to right now. People ask me all the time, are you going to gamble again? I said, my wife doesn't want me to, but
yeah,
I'm straight. I'm honest, I can't sit here and say no, because I love it.
Right,
I miss
right.
it today.
That rush.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm honest. Everyone's going to tell you, no, I'll never do that again. That's not me, man. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. And it's going to be an issue when I'm allowed to gamble. Maybe I'll go and I'll bring 20 grand to a casino and be normal. Mm-hmm. Well, even that's not normal. Maybe I'll bring 5, whatever. I mean, my idea of normal. And that's going to be hard for me, though, because I don't do anything at a low pace or normal.
Right,
that's what
right.
my wife tells me. She's like, you're not going to do that. And she's right, because I want to be the guy who brings in 10 million, because I'm Joe Cool in my mind.
Right. But you've established that. That's Matt Bowyer, right? Like,
exactly.
Like if I'm gonna roll in there, that's $3 million, $10 million, whatever. That's how I roll. Versus to, it's a game changer for you, because now it's like, ooh, 20 grand, like, and I'm not, I'm gonna tell you the story on my end of it is like, I started to learn to play Baccarat probably 8 years ago. Okay. And I was that guy of like, okay, $50, to me at that time I was like, whew, man, that's a lot, right? But then it's like, okay, I figured it out, because I don't do it a lot, but if I can get the run, of, banker, player, whatever it is, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to ante this up, let's move to $100, $200 hands, or whatever it is, right? Then it got to $500 hands because they're like, well, now minimum's $300, not $100 anymore, Wilson. You got to go with $300. Okay, fine. Let's do it. At $300, I'm like, fuck it, let's go $500. And then at $500, you go, okay, now it's $1,000, $1,500, $3,000, and I'm playing those type of hands now. I'm going like, okay,
where's the ceiling here, right?
right. Where's the ceiling? And at the same time, I always have to look back going like, if I go back and play $100 hands right now, I'd be like, why?
You'll actually be bored.
Yeah.
You won't even enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, well, fuck it. If I'm gonna play this hand, I have 10,000 sitting in front of me, and I can go 5,000 or whatever it is, and just say, hey, make another 50% off of this on just one shot. Let's do it, right? And I get that, right? That exactly what you're talking about. That rush, that high, and all that. But from my end of it, it's like, okay, exactly what you're saying is that's my limit. I'm not gonna go over 20,000,
right?
Because outside of that, that's what I can afford to lose. That's me. Going in there now and saying like, oh, I've got $400 and I'm going to play. I don't even bother anymore. It's like, I'm not going to play it.
Yeah, but that's sustainable for you.
Right.
So that's okay. Like even if you lost 20 grand, 3 trips in Vegas, that sucks. I mean, nobody wants to lose 60K.
No.
But like, you're not going to go home and not feed your kids or not pay your bills. And
correct.
Like, so that's okay. And even if you probably lost 2 times in a row big, you might just take a break for a while or whatever, or go with 10 grand or 5.
Exactly.
That's what gambling should be for.
Yeah.
But I'm the guy who's going to bring, I lost 20. I need to bring 500 because 500,000 because, I want to get back my 40 and more,
So if the previous trip say, yeah.
So that's why gambling is not really beneficial to a guy of my caliber because I'm the person that just can't get enough, And there's so many people in that category. That's why when I'm able to gamble again, it's going to be a challenge between my wife and I,
Yeah.
And she'll win because I'm never going to lose her.
Right.
If she says it's done, it's done. And that's I'm also a person that's never been governed. I'm about to be in prison, but being governed is very difficult.
Well, it's so interesting because we talk about the limits, right? Of like what you can gamble, what they're going to allow, what they're not going to allow. You mentioned you went to Monte Carlo, right? And obviously, I'm a big F1 guy, and it's one of those things. The races run through there, the casinos there, and you see it in movies, the whole deal. What was that experience on your end to play at Monte Carlo? Like, what's that?
That's my favorite place in the world.
Really?
For me, because I like to gamble. I wouldn't say if I didn't gamble, I wouldn't say it would be my favorite place in the world.
Yeah.
But it would still be way up there. But to walk into Hotel de Paris, which is one of the nicest hotels in the world, and to stay in their penthouse and to eat at Le Grill, which is the most famous restaurant there, and to walk into the casino and be allowed not to have to wear a suit and tie, which it's all changed, but I wasn't required that. I was allowed to wear just a jacket. This is a few years ago. Now you can actually go in there with, the requirements have really changed as far as dressing up. You used to have to be definitely a jacket at least. And to have a private room in Monte Carlo where you have water view, ocean view is unheard of. I had that. So like the experiences that we had in Monte Carlo, it's just so different. It's quiet. When you're in a casino, it sounds like this. They don't let you play music. I was allowed to play music, but even then they were telling me to turn it down. And I was bringing $2 million, 2 million euros, by the way, which is even more in the U.S.
Yeah. The conversion.
So it's just so a different feel. Now, I will tell you, though, that it's more fun to gamble in Las Vegas if you're there to party and have fun, in my opinion. But Monte Carlo has this aura of real, and obviously the history and the James Bond and all these people that are there that have more money than Beverly Hills and Newport Beach could ever even fathom. I mean, those guys look like, it's like an ant to them with the people that are in Monte Carlo as far as money, because there's Russian billionaires. I tell a story in the book, these guys I was working out with, they had a $300 million yacht out front. I mean, that's like, what kind of wealth is that? I mean, they're billionaires, and I'm gambling with these guys, and they're betting less than me, because money doesn't matter to them, Whereas me, it matters a lot to me.
Right.
But being rubbing elbows with people like that, and being around some sheik. I don't even know who he was. Some sheik from somewhere that I was one of the top 5 richest guys in the world. You don't ask him any questions, but it's really a different aura,
Yeah, yeah.
and the experience of going to Jimmy Z's nightclub. It's a famous nightclub there, and like the feeling of the people there, it's above anything you've ever experienced. Like you go. I've been everywhere in Las Vegas and Bahamas and Panama and Dominican and London, all these great places, but Monte Carlo's feel is just a whole different level, truly. Yeah, I mean, we went to a jewelry store when we went on that shopping spree, and some guy walks in with 2 girls. He must have been 65. 2 young girls. They look like Kim Kardashian. They're very, very attractive. He's got them both around his arm, and he walks into the jewelry store. And we were in there we were shopping, actually, truly. In fact, I show a picture in the book, I believe, my wife's earrings I bought there. And they took him to some back up private room. And I was like,
At the jewelry store.
at the jewelry store in Monte Carlo, which is less than, I'm not joking, half a block from the casino. Because it's all, have you ever been there?
No, but Monte Carlo is just, it's
small.
so, yeah, it's tiny.
Small.
Yeah.
And everywhere, it's the safest place in the world. They have I think it's, what stat did they tell me? For every 9 citizens, they have a police officer. Like literally, it's just so safe. And so anyway, it's all real close. And I'm like, where are these guys going?
Yeah.
And first of all, I'm intrigued by the fact he's got 2 25-year-old girls. He's 65 and they're drop dead gorgeous. They're both around his arm, and
What did I do wrong?
yeah, I mean, this guy, you could tell he's just got so much money, and you could see their outfits, just everything, and they were definitely going to buy some nice jewelry for these 2 young ladies. And I wanted to ask so many questions, but I didn't, because you're in Monte Carlo, and you don't want to be that tool that's like, oh,
Yeah.
what does he do, and who is he,
Yeah.
But I wanted to, but I didn't. So we proceeded to buy some very nice earrings, and we left, and I was so intrigued, but they never showed up at the casino. I was waiting to see if they came in, because I wanted to see how much he was gambling too. Not that it matters. He's so rich, he probably doesn't even gamble, But just those little experiences are just so different than what I experience anywhere else,
Right. The level of people, the aura, everything is just, it's a game changer.
It really is. Like anyone who can afford to go there, and whether they gamble or not, once in your life you should go and just experience it, and go in the casinos. Casinos kind of, you get a bad experience though if you don't gamble on a high level in the casino, in my opinion, because you walk in and it's kind of like this. It's a very old looking, which is beautiful, but old in a sense of like there's
Historic.
there's no vibe much. It's not like So I think people would be actually who don't gamble, or on a serious level would be kind of like, oh, this is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your book, Recalibrate. How did you come up with the name and how the word and everything else of to bring it to where it is today?
It's actually my new favorite word in the world. I'll tell you the truth. Right when the feds raided me, I started writing it.
The book.
Yes, immediately, like truly immediately. And I thought to myself, I kept telling myself, I just have to recalibrate, like my life and my situation, and it just kept coming to me over and over again. And so I finally said, I'm naming my book that, because that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I've always recalibrated in my life, and I've been resilient. I almost named it resilient, but I thought this word was better because resilient is a great character, to be overcome adversity, same thing. But
Yeah.
this is a little different because I have to be resilient, but I truly have to actually recalibrate everything I'm doing, and it's going backwards and overcoming the adversity to go forward.
Right.
Whereas I felt like resilient just says, oh, he overcomes adversity, which is great. But this is more detailed of how I feel of what my book is about and what I'm currently going through. And listen, I walk into prison, and in fact, 7 days from now, I'll be sitting in a federal prison. So, but I'm the most confident I've ever been in my life. And people think I'm crazy, and I am. That's okay. I want everyone to think I'm crazy because I am not normal. I don't follow the sheep, and I don't think like everybody else, and I don't want to. Mm-hmm. So why can't I look at this as a great opportunity to go recalibrate?
Right.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
It's like that mental reset of, hey, you're right. Failure, adversity, everything through like your family, all the stuff that's going on. You have to take every bit of all that and say, okay, not starting from fresh, but like, hey, how do I regain this and get momentum that I used to have, but in a different manner,
Right.
you know?
I always just tell myself, Wilson, I've been through a lot in my life, but I've done things that truly I think 99% of the people have never done. Probably if you added up 1,000 people, they haven't done what I've done. And I say that, gracefully. I'm thankful. But there's so many people, man, that are going through so much worse than what I'm dealing with.
Yes.
You have a 6-year-old kid that's in a Chalk hospital right now. It's cancer and they're going to die. You have a person that's in a car right now that's about to get hit by a car and die. You have a person who's walking down the street and just going to get stabbed for no reason.
Yeah.
There's so many things that are happening around us. It doesn't affect us, so we don't really, watch the news or you see it. You just keep driving.
Right.
Last night there was a guy in my city, in San Juan Capistrano, that was hanging off a bridge for 4 hours. Ortega Highway. 4 hours. It took my friend 2 hours to get a quarter mile to get to my house.
Oh my God.
He was on the bridge for 4 hours. I don't even know what happened. I hope to God he didn't jump. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they were talking him off the ledge and were trying, whatever. That's not me. I'm going to federal prison, but I sure as hell ain't hanging off a damn bridge.
Right.
So I'm blessed, man. I got 5 beautiful kids. They're healthy. I'm healthy. My family's good. I got friends. I've got more support than I've ever had in my life. So what? I got to go spend a year in prison? Yeah, that sucks. Poor me? No. I'll make the best of this.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'll come out bigger and stronger, and I'll make a legendary name of my name, if I haven't already, to a different level.
Right.
And my kids will watch this and read my book, and they'll see what I do in the next 10 years. And how can they not admire me for that?
Yeah, no, totally. It's, honestly, your wife, I mean, she's like your rock,
By far.
And for her to stick with you, she's your ride or die.
She is.
Right, ride or die, Matt. Through thick or thin, no matter what it is, I'm here for you. And that is so awesome.
It is.
Especially when you're talking about 5 kids and losing everything, and now having your wife still by your side, no matter what. It didn't matter. Didn't matter all this stuff that has happened through the media, through anything else. It's like, I'm with you.
Absolutely.
That is something special, my man.
It is. And you know how many people would pay for that? Because maybe they have a beautiful wife or, whatever. They have all this money and they have all the cars and all the shit, and
Yeah.
that's great. That stuff helps. But they lay down next to some woman that would bounce in 2 seconds if it was all gone.
Right.
And maybe likes the guy or even loves him a little bit. But man, they would pay $1 trillion to have what I have.
Oh, 110%.
Yeah. So I'm good, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
But those are things I got to remind myself in those dark moments.
Yeah.
But I'm so blessed, and it sounds like, and I'm so appreciative to meet you. It sounds like you have the same thing at your house, which you should be thanking your lucky stars too, man.
No, I do. It's hard, especially when I have to travel for work. I'm dependent on my wife to be with the kids, shuttle them around. Like we talked about earlier. The basketball,
Right.
the school and everything else, and you don't. We take a lot of this stuff for granted.
Right.
Really, we really do.
Sure.
And because it's so easy.
It is.
It's like, hey, I'm going to go to Arizona tomorrow. I'm going to Maui, or like Monday, we're going to Canada. It's so easy to say like, boom, I'm going to go and go do it,
Right.
versus to knowing that, this all could be taken away from me, right? And at that point, it's like, who else is going to affect, and will she be by my side? I haven't hit that level like where you're at,
Right.
but it does, now, talking to you and everything, reading your book, it's like, it can happen.
It can, man, to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
In so many ways. Like, it doesn't even have to be finances, man. It could be health,
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be a car accident. It could be a plane crash. It could be, it could be anything.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to enjoy and live, maybe too much on the edge, but man, if I die tomorrow, I've lived the best 50 years of most people.
I talked to Leanne about this the other day, and we talked about ego and everything else, earlier, and it's one of those things. It's like I have that too, where it's to a point now in life. It's about the experiences,
Right.
right? it's cool to go to a baseball game, right? But now it's more like, okay, the experience of, oh, you get to sit behind home plate, or you get to meet, Buster Posey for the Giants or whatever it may be.
Sure.
It's like that new gravitation of life, the experience that you don't normally get. Of
course.
Those are the kind of things like right now, that's part of my life.
Right.
Being able to do these things with my family and be able to expose them to these things but also now I want to teach them like, hey, not everyone gets to do these things.
Yeah, you better appreciate it.
Exactly, and I think those are good lessons for me to take from of different walks of life and say, guys, value this,
Right.
Because you don't get to do this every single day.
Hey, listen, it's easy to get complacent when you're doing those things.
Yeah,
For you, for them, for anyone. But as long as you continue to have this conversation with them, which is what I tried to do with mine, because if you met my children, you would be pretty, I think, very impressed. And it's not, I don't give myself the credit, it's who they are. But I've tried to keep them less entitled based on their lifestyle and what we've done. And my 30-year-old daughter is married and having a child, and she works. My 26-year-old moved to New York and she lives on her own. I've never given these kids any money. Yeah. I could have, but they're on their own.
Did you say your oldest is going to have a
Yeah.
When?
Actually, I'm praying that when I get out, this is by the way, no one knows this, so because I wasn't supposed to tell.
Oh, sorry.
No, it doesn't. Whoever watches this, whether even if it's a week from now, it's okay. It's supposed to be like April.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Congratulations.
I'm praying that I get out because being a grandfather and if I'm not going to be there, it's another hurdle that I'm dealing with. But yeah, I'm very excited. So it's cool.
Congratulations.
I'll be a 50-year-old grandpa.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so my daughter, so like they're all very successful,
Good.
and they're just really good people, and that's all you want.
Right.
You just want your kids to be success in life, not finance is great, but just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier, just more of, you want that reflection of you, right?
Yes.
Of who you are, your brand of, being, like we talked about, being humble, not taking anything for granted, valuing of things and then taking it with life. And it's like, making basically like how I look at it is like being a better human being,
Absolutely.
and I think that's,
Better than you, really. I mean, that's what your goal is, right?
oh yeah.
You can make them better than you and learn from your mistakes. But this has been hard on them too. So it's been a good curve for them to learn, to see like, oh, hey man, dad was doing something illegal. They all knew. It wasn't like I hid what I did. And to watch them, or to watch me deal with adversity and them going through it too, it's been a good transition for everybody. It's a learning curve for everyone.
So what's the next chapter for Matt Bowyer? Like what's the, after you get out, what's your next venture? What's your jive?
Well, because unlike most people, I've been building from day one. I've been, as I said, I'm not normal. So you've seen me in the media. Most people in cases don't talk to the media. I fought against my attorneys. I fought everybody really, and did what I wanted to do. And that building and this foundation I'm building and community, I call it, because I really have like this, it's crazy, this really bond of community of people through social media, and it's just grown. I'm going to take my book, which it's became an Amazon bestseller, which is great, and I'll use that as a business card to build my next chapter, which is documentary, movie, and then possibly speaking, to NFL teams, NBA teams, baseball teams, and getting paid to go help some of these young athletes not go ruin their careers, and then also do motivational speaking for companies and employees and really just giving back and impacting the world. My plan is to inspire people and get paid to do it. And right now there's speakers, Jordan Belfort, there's a lot of people that have been through, similar situations to me that are making a lot of money. Molly Bloom from Molly's Game, they go around and they speak and they get paid $50,000, $60,000 to go have an hour speech about their life. And I believe strongly that I can do better than them. Not only because my story is equivalently crazy, but because I think I actually am more impactful by my heart is a little more into it than what I've seen from them on stage.
Yeah.
It won't be a business to me. Yes, I will want to make money and rebrand myself and still fly on a private jet and all that good stuff. I do want that, but I'll actually enjoy the process and helping people, inspiring them.
Okay.
And when you have a passion for something, it's dangerous.
You're right. It really does, because, it's that self drive, right? And that ceiling isn't there. It's like, how do I take that and then up that again, and then continue to strive to be successful? That's good.
Yeah. Well, this is the first time in my life where it's win-win. It's always been, I needed a customer to lose for me to win. I was a commodity trader. They had to lose money or pay a lot of commissions for me to win. And when I say win, make money. Now it's, I get to go help people win and be better.
Yeah.
Have a better life, be a better human being. And you're going to pay me for that? I'm winning. I'm rich. Doesn't matter how much money I make, I'm rich.
Yeah. That's good. It's a good mindset to have. It's a way to be locked in, and to take that to the next level. I can't wait. I mean, it's so cool to see you, take all these, let's call it negativity, and you're turning it into a positive.
Yeah. Life lessons.
Yeah,
for sure.
And you're not afraid to hide behind it, and you're taking it, straight on, and that's very powerful.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And that means a lot to me, because I'm kind of the same way, because I'm kind of like, I don't want to beat around the bush.
Right.
If I don't like it, I'm just going to tell you.
Sure.
And because, or if I do like it, I want to share that with you, and grow and be successful. Because if I'm going to do that, I'm just fake.
Right. Well, that's the problem. The world has become so much more fake, and they actually resonate more with people that are accountable now than ever.
Yeah.
Because accountability is so down in the world.
Oh, 110%. Yeah. It's crazy. And what I see right now, it's even in my business, it's a lot of the blame game. I don't just own it.
Right.
Let's move on with life.
Yeah. Let's handle what we did wrong and let's learn from it. And as a team, let's take accountability and figure out why did this occur, so we could fix it and not do it again.
Yeah, exactly. First, I just want to thank you.
No, thank you for having me today.
It's been a great session to talk to you, get to know you, and learn about what it's all about of your life. Bringing it from day one to where it is today. I understand you're going to be you're going to prison in a week.
Yep.
And it's you're so positive about that. I'm admired, man. That's so awesome.
Thank you.
And I know you're going to learn so much from this, and I want to continue to stay connected with you.
Please.
And when you get out, would love to kind of talk to you again.
Yeah, we can do round 2.
Exactly.
We'll do the aftermath and see what the next year of federal prison is like.
Yeah.
But for me, it'll be positive. But sharing it and talking about the negative side and what I learned from each moment will be cool. So let's do it.
Yeah, definitely. For those of you out there, Matt Boyer's book, Recalibrate, please go to Amazon, go get this book. I've read it. I'm so amazed. I knocked this book out pretty quick, and I think you would enjoy it. Please do, and I would love the support.
Please do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure,
Appreciate you.
man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
yes,
very
sir.
much.